jams that's still about there. You can tell Roberto's fingerprints are all over that musical selection. No, David, it is. It's just, if Sully had picked the track, it would have been something off Scorpion.
Roberto was texting us seconds after LeBron James announced
I'm going to tell you something. His family goes up north. This man is locked in. Locked in. This is a new side of Roberto. Welcome in on a Monday. Let's jump right in. We got a lot to discuss with LeBron James, certainly the news of the day. And I think Sully and I are going to have an interesting debate, but let me kind of give you the overview before we get into the back and forth. But couple thoughts. One is this, and I don't know where you guys reside on this. I don't know if there's anything emotional about it. But LeBron has earned the right to do this, and he didn't do anything wrong. Okay, like I know we always have these conversations, and some, maybe they're all nonsense, but some are legitimate, more legitimate than others about legacy. But if you trace LeBron's career and you look at these big decisions, this is how I see it, at least. The Miami thing was about basketball. He was in Cleveland. He had tried it. It didn't work. It wasn't going to work. Miami, you may think, was about lifestyle, but it wasn't. Miami was a blank sheet, right? It was a blank canvas. And they could put three guys together and win a championship. It was about basketball, but he did it on someone else's terms. Remember, Pat Riley was the only voice in that organization. And eventually that caused LeBron to leave. But Miami was basketball. He goes back to Cleveland. That was the emotion. That was the heartstrings. He went home, and he went to bring a championship, and he delivered. This move, to me, you could say lifestyle, but I think the move is about business. This is LeBron, as you heard in the audio there. It's the final act. And I've always said this to you. LeBron earns 2, 3, 4 times the amount of money off the court that he earns on it. Magic Johnson runs the Lakers. LeBron, up to this point, had no relationship with Magic Johnson. But Magic made far more money off the floor than he ever made on. The movie theaters, the Starbucks, the off-court ventures. There's something to this. Now, yes, there's a family element. Yes, I think ultimately this is where family wanted to be. He owns multiple properties there. Yes, get the hell out of Northeast Ohio. He didn't championship chase, albeit I do think he can win. I'll get to that in a minute. I think this is about life after basketball. And playing for the Lakers, I don't think anybody can knock it. They're one of those franchises where everybody probably at one point or another wanted to wear that jersey, unless you played for the Celtics. It's about business. It's about taking care of his family the way he wants to. I have no issue with it. And I thought he did it the right way. Very minimal pomp and circumstance. I thought he flirted with the Sixers. That was adorable. He was never going there. The issue here is the following, and I think you got to really look at this. Look at the contract LeBron signed. He gave them a 3+1, right? 3 years locked in, player option on the 4th. Why is that notable? Why does that matter? Because he would never give Cleveland more than one. He simply signed a series of 1+1s or a 2+1. He never would give his hometown team 3 years or potentially 4. But he gave it to a franchise. Now, mind you, Lakers have been a bit of a dumpster fire. He has no relationship with Magic Johnson. He spent more time with Magic Johnson Saturday night than he had the previous 15 years. I think it is hilarious because what that is, and we have to change around body parts and different things, but let me tell you something. He was wagging the you-know-what at Cleveland and Dan Gilbert because he gave the Lakers something he would never give Dan Gilbert. I thought that was absolutely him spitting in Gilbert's face. He never trusted Gilbert after the letter. He never liked Gilbert, and he never would allow the Cavs to rebuild long-term because he wouldn't give them years. He wouldn't give them a contract. So then he goes to the Lakers. He's got no history there. Magic he has no relationship with. And he gave them what he would never give the Cavaliers. That is a direct shot at Gilbert. Now, for us, that's hilarious. We have no skin in the game. I mean, we're sitting here in Detroit. But if you don't think that contract means something and had motive to it, look, he easily could have gone to the Lakers and said, hey, I'll do a 1+1. 1 year for you, second year my option. LeBron could play on 1+1s for the next 3 contracts. That's my argument. It wouldn't dissuade anyone from signing him, but he didn't do it. He gave them 4 years. He's there for the long haul. Wouldn't ever do it for Cleveland. Like, if you're Dan Gilbert, you got to be sick to your stomach. Not only is your franchise cut in half, if the Cavaliers were worth $2 billion, they're worth $1 billion. If they were worth 1.8, they're worth $900 million. The other thing, too, you know what's funny is the league calendar. You know what Dan Gilbert got this past weekend? He got about a $60 million luxury tax bill from the NBA. And there ain't no payment plans. Can you imagine? You lose LeBron, your franchise is worth half, and you got to stroke a $50, $60 million check. I don't care if you're a billionaire. That's a lousy weekend. But here's what's interesting with LeBron in L.A. now. They didn't panic. This is where Magic did it right. Remember last week we were talking about how, guys, you can't trade for Kawhi and lose assets like Ingram and Kuzma and Randall, etc., because LeBron and Kawhi won't be enough. They didn't. They didn't panic. Now, they might. It could happen. Maybe with LeBron in the fold, they do. But if you look at what LeBron has done here, he's guaranteed the Lakers time. They can build this the right way. And I know, Sully, you have different thoughts. I think as long as they don't gut themselves to get Kawhi now, I think there's a chance he can win there. I think there's a chance, and I don't mean just be good or compete. You have to remember next summer, the Warriors could be torn apart. Klay Thompson could outright leave. I think there's an opportunity for him to win, but in the short term, this is one thing I will agree with Sully on. LeBron is about to embark on the roughest regular season of his life because the Western Conference it's like nothing I've ever seen. Look, the Western Conference has already been the dominant conference now, running on 6 years, right? Go top to bottom there. I mean, LeBron, he could will his team to victory in the East. He could take the Cavs where he wanted to go. And look, part of the reason he pouted for a month this year. He stopped trying for a month to force moves midseason. But when he was locked in, the Cavs could be one of the better teams in the East, solely on his ability. We all agree on that? That's fair? I don't think it matters what he does now with the Lakers. The West is too tough for him to get his team high in these standings. Like, it's going to be weird seeing LeBron as a 7 seed, but it could very well happen. I mean, there are no gimmies, right? Like, imagine LeBron with this Laker team, which right now is a bit of a daycare center. You got a back-to-back, Utah and Denver on a Friday and Saturday night. Go enjoy that. You think LeBron had to work hard this year, wait till next year. So I do think there is something short-term to this where there could be some real growing pains. Do I believe this Laker team will look the same by training camp? No. But even if they go out and let's say they had made a play at Boogie, okay, you're probably not, you wouldn't even have him until January. He's coming off an Achilles. I think it's interesting Paul George decided playing with LeBron, that ain't for me. My take on it is simple. I think George is a bit of a weirdo in that he doesn't want to be the alpha, which I do understand. He wants to be the number 2, but he doesn't want to be the number 3. So there's Batman, Robin, and then the other guy. He doesn't want to be the other guy. And there's a very good chance that he'd gone to the Lakers, he'd be Robin for about 5 minutes. And then the Lakers go out and get Kawhi or get someone else, and now Paul George is the other guy. Pardon me, I don't do comic books. I'm sure the other guy has a name. But the Lakers have an opportunity to build this the right way. And LeBron gave them the time to do so. They have young assets. I'll tell you the one guy that this move is terrible for. I think it's Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is a terrible fit for this team. Why? Simple. He needs the basketball in his hands because he can't shoot. Like, think about this. If you're on the court with LeBron James, you got to be able to shoot. Fair? If you can't shoot, we know you won't possess the ball because that's LeBron's style. Ball dominant, will distribute, will lead the team in assists. The offense runs through him, right? If you don't have the ball in your hands and you can't shoot, now you don't need to be guarded. Lonzo Ball is a guy who, if you look at metrics, can throw unbelievable breakout passes, is good at pushing the pace, right? Running the break. They're not going to do any of those things because LeBron's pace, first of all, LeBron's pace for a long time has been slow, but LeBron's pace in his mid-30s is going to be a crawl. And he'll still be dominant because he's a maestro in the half court. But Lonzo Ball, like this was why I didn't think Philly would be a great fit. Ben Simmons has to have the ball. If Ben Simmons doesn't have the ball and he can't shoot, now you're just a dude. I think this is a nightmare for the Lakers in that sense that Lonzo Ball better learn how to shoot the basketball, better learn how to play off the ball. I think it's an absolute disaster for LeVar and the family. Because here's the other dirty secret. Nobody wants Lonzo. Nobody wants him. If he was a hot commodity, the Spurs would have been all over it, right? A 6'5" point guard, pass first, classic. Nobody wants him. Look at the report that came out just a few days ago. He has a torn meniscus. No one's touching him. I would just keep an eye on that. Ingram, this is great for it. Creates space. Randall, if they keep him. A tweener like him attacking the rack. There's some really nice possibilities here, but I'll tell you, Lonzo Ball's the first guy I thought of, and I went, that doesn't fit.
I'm undefeated, never lost.
You just took a huge L. I mean, I know LeBron has an interest in playing with Lonzo. That's fine. Unless Lonzo learns to shoot the ball with any proclivity, I don't see how this is any good for him. But when you can get LeBron James, that's the trade-off. Let me throw the number out. I'm all over the place with it. I know, Sully, you have a big take. You believe LeBron's in some trouble winning. Let's dive into that as well. 248-539-9797. The ticket text 97136. We'll catch up on those.